Hello, beautiful people. This is Thelma in the building again. See, I guess you guys can clap for me that I'm becoming very consistent. I mean, just for 2 videos, I guess, for now. Yes, thank you again for tuning in to watch me. Thank you to my subscribers. It means the world to me. And if you're new here, you're welcome. You're welcome. Please don't forget to like, share, subscribe. Once you're done with this video, even right now as you're watching me, okay? Basically, this video is more like answering the questions that I've received the most since coming to the UK. If it was worth it living in Japan, is Japan not amazing? We all want to be in Japan, so why would you leave to the UK and all that? So basically, I'll just be sharing with you, if it was all worth it for me, and I'll try and be as honest as I can be and make sure that I'm basically also just showcasing maybe the pros or what I feel, just being as honest as I can be. Yeah. So really, why did I leave Japan? Basically, I obviously, if you watch my 2 years experience in the UK, you would know I actually came to the UK for my master's degree. But yeah, I left Japan basically because of personal growth. I was ready to grow in my career and in my life. I felt like teaching wasn't something I could do forever, at least not in Japan or any country. I don't think teaching was my thing for a long time, like in terms of what I see myself doing, like for long-term goals. I didn't think teaching was that, and I didn't want to waste time doing something that I wouldn't enjoy in the next few years of my life. And while I'm still young, I felt like it was just time to leave and do my masters now, try and start to forge like a career path for myself, because there's no more time to be playing career games. I just wanted that career crafting, if that makes sense to you. Yeah, so that's why I really left Japan. And although there was something more personal that had happened that kind of fueled me to want to leave Japan, but yeah, personal growth, career decision was one of the reasons why I left Japan and all. In terms of opportunities, I feel like the UK has better opportunities than in Japan. I feel like in Japan, right, you would have to really learn their language, and even when you learn their language, somehow I feel like most times they would still consider you as a gaijin, which is being a foreigner in Japan. And I mean, it's such a different system, like so different, that I don't think that there are much more opportunities for foreigners like me other than teaching, and which is not something that as I said at the beginning, that I see myself doing for a long term. So yeah, the opportunities in UK are far better. It's still, you can still get a career that you really love, you enjoy, you can grow, you can stay, build your family. But I mean, I didn't see all that happening in Japan, raising kids, changing my job from being a teacher to anything. Like, I mean, I'm too old to start learning the language so in depth. I mean, you're never too old, but I realized that, see, let me not deceive myself. I don't think I was going to learn the language so well that it will then put me in another career path. The most is still be the teaching, and I couldn't stay for long. So yeah, with compared to opportunities, I feel like UK has had better opportunities and still has better opportunities, than being in Japan, basically. And obviously, I couldn't have gone to school in Japan. Not that I can't go to school in Japan, but when you come for a particular thing in Japan, like maybe work, that's really what you come for. Like, start switching to try to get a visa for to learn, like a student visa and all that. Like, so yeah, UK had better opportunities and still has. So in terms of life satisfaction, was I happier in Japan, or was I happier in Japan, or am I happier here in the UK? I would say it's so on a scale of 1 to 10. I would say in Japan I was on the 7, and here in the UK I would say the 5. Why I'm saying so is because I mean in Japan life was easier. Like the convenience in Japan is so good, and honestly maybe because I didn't go through as much stress than I have since coming to the UK. Like I already had a job, I just knew what I was earning. Like life was just like straightforward. It was just, I just knew my tomorrow, my next tomorrow. But UK is so unpredictable, so up and down. Before I even had my job, like it was so difficult, getting jobs, because I mean I worked for an agency, and it was so hard getting shifts that I never knew what my tomorrow could be. I could wake up in the morning and that shift is cancelled. So that means I have to plan my finances even much more than I did in Japan. In Japan, I felt like I really lived. Like I lived in terms of like I could travel, and most of you testified. I had my YouTube channel was coming out like every Sunday. I think like it was more frequent because I had time, you know, I could travel. I had the money to do those things. I could plan, but here I really can't. I don't know. Like since I got the job, I can plan my finances, but it's still not the same. Like it's much more. I mean, that's basically it. I mean, UK definitely. I won't say I'm sad or anything. Like I'm grateful. At least some of the things that I missed having, while I was in Japan, like a social life, friends, everything. I have that now here, which is something that is great, but it still doesn't negate the fact that UK can be really, really tough, to live in, the tax system, everything. It can be really tough, but yeah, that's basically. So if I want to say how much more satisfaction in terms of in life I would say I was happier in Japan. Yeah, but it's yeah, it is what it is. Okay, so the biggest challenges of moving from Japan to the UK, I would say, is really just starting afresh. I mean, when you move from country to country, it's always hard to adapt. It wasn't so hard here, but I mean, considering they speak English, but it was definitely, because it meant starting afresh, adapting to living with so many people, because I stay in a shared apartment. This is not something I was used to in Japan, because I had my own apartment. So what else? Not being sure of what tomorrow is in terms of like planning your finances is definitely different here in the UK. At least in Japan, I had an idea of what my finances were like, unlike here in the UK when I came, not being sure if I'll have a shift and everything. I think I mentioned that before. So those are one of the biggest challenges, adapting to living with people. Also the environment, basically. I mean, Japan was cleaner. I wasn't as security conscious as I am here in the UK. Not that UK is, but then I was less, security conscious in Japan. And also, yeah, well, however, the benefits that I've gained since moving to the UK that I couldn't have experienced in Japan, like working in an energy sector or something, just like I am now, church, having a church community, those things, and making friends, those things, honestly, the benefits have far outweighed maybe those challenges I had faced moving from Japan to the UK.